We are entering a new era of writing instruction. Artificial intelligence can now generate essays in seconds. It can organize arguments. It can refine language. It can imitate sophistication. So the question is no longer, can students produce writing? The real question is, what does it mean to teach writing when output is no longer the differentiator? In the age of AI, the shift is clear. We move from output to thinking. AI can generate text, but it cannot independently reason with purpose. It cannot weigh values. It cannot justify decisions with ownership. This is the opportunity. If AI produces writing, then schools must elevate cognition. Our responsibility is not to compete with AI on speed. It is to develop students who can evaluate, question, refine, and think beyond it. This moment is not about fear. It is about design. To respond to this shift, we need clarity in two areas: how we design thinking and what we explicitly teach inside that design. UnBlooms is a cognitive design framework. It builds on Bloom's taxonomy, but emphasizes movement, not static levels. It structures how students move through understanding, application, analysis, evaluation, and creation, while embedding reflection and metacognition throughout. The Writing Carousel is an instructional clarity framework for writing. It defines the essential domains of strong writing instruction: organization, elaboration, language use, conventions, and intentional planning, and shows how they operate in recursive cycles. UnBlooms structures the thinking. The Writing Carousel defines the craft. Together, they create alignment between cognition and instruction. Both frameworks share a critical belief. Learning is not linear. Students do not move from step 1 to step 5 and stop. They revisit, they refine, they revise, they reevaluate. Recursive learning means students cycle back with deeper insight. They rethink ideas. They adjust structure. They question assumptions. They strengthen reasoning. In an AI world, this recursive movement is essential because thinking is strengthened through iteration. At the center of both frameworks is metacognition. Students must not only think, they must think about their learning. They must ask, why did I structure this argument this way? What evidence is stronger? What would improve this reasoning? Where might AI be limited here? Metacognition transforms writing from task completion to intellectual ownership. It is the difference between producing words and producing insight. For years, writing instruction often emphasized the final product, the completed essay, the polished draft, the rubric score. But when AI can generate a finished product instantly, that model collapses. The real evidence of learning becomes the process, the decisions students make, the revisions they attempt, the evaluations they conduct, their ability to justify their reasoning. The product still matters, but the process reveals cognition, and cognition is now the differentiator. UnBlooms provides the cognitive architecture. It structures how thinking deepens. The Writing Carousel provides instructional clarity. It defines what strong writing instruction includes inside that architecture. One designs movement through levels of complexity. The other ensures that writing skills are intentionally developed within that movement. Aligned, they prevent fragmentation. They create coherence between thinking and instruction. In practice, this alignment creates a visible classroom pattern. Students plan intentionally. They draft with purpose. They revise recursively. They evaluate their own thinking. They reflect on the decisions they make, including how and when to use AI. Writing becomes a laboratory for thinking, not just a product to submit, but a process to strengthen judgment. AI will continue to evolve. The tools will become faster, more polished, more persuasive. But the future will not belong to those who can generate text. It will belong to those who can evaluate it, to question it, to refine it, to build on it with original thought. If we fail to shift instruction, we risk preparing students for a world that no longer exists. If we succeed, we prepare them to lead in the one that does. Preparing thinkers requires intention. It requires designing cognition. It requires defining instruction clearly. When we align cognitive design with instructional clarity, we elevate writing beyond output. We develop students who can reason, who can justify, who can reflect, who can think independently in a world shaped by AI. That is not just writing instruction, that is preparation for leadership.